it, Pat.
That'll do it.
Okay?
No more of this other rubbish.
No, not at all.
Never a backward step.
Never a backward step.
Never a backward
Very
step.
good.
No pay.
No pay.
Rooftop to Piccadilly. Is there any sign of him down there, George?
Piccadilly to Rooftop, it's just getting out. It's just getting out now.
Yep, that's the one.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other way.
Wait a minute. Just a shift. Just a shift.
Okay.
The motto of Lord Thompson of Fleet. Perhaps the most powerful press baron the world has ever known adds an electric newscaster to his empire. Mr. Ivor Charles, ex-army major, barrister at law, and personal assistant to Lord Thompson.
Yes. Preview of the London Playbar Club, black tie.
Well, everything's there, but the date.
There. Please bring this key with you. The date's on the back here, sir. Wednesday, June 29th, 8:30.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So either a regret or an acceptance.
What is it a...
Well, it's the opening of the new Bunny's Club.
Well, I could perhaps make it, you see. I got 2 hours and a half before for those two.
8:30, and the cocktail party with the Bulgarian ambassador. Sir.
Kind of interesting to see what it's all about. I'm afraid I won't get over to the House of Lords this week. Yeah, it's for Cyrus Eaton. It's very nice, isn't it? Yes, isn't it? Yes, I'm not interested in that. Throw it away.
Thompson House. From here, Roy Thompson operates radio and television stations, magazines, newspapers, and book companies in 20 countries. The flagships of the fleet are the great Times of London and the booming Sunday Times.
Let's have your shoes off, love.
It's very tough because how do we create shares? I mean, without giving away a lot of our equity. You see, you've got to base it on an existing business. You can't create a value and then give shares in trade for new businesses unless it has a basis of a business. And where do we get that? You see, unless we put our American newspapers in, which I don't want to do.
This is the Sunday Times newspaper calling from London. I'm making inquiries about a baby reported missing. Did you say dogs were being used?
My French coffee.
Are we allowed to ask if there's any
Oui,
names?
c'est assez embêtant parce que c'est 3 familles avec des gosses, alors...
All right, I won't cut the bus off. You can ask William. I know what he'll say.
Bon, alors je vous remercie beaucoup. Hein? Merci, au revoir, madame.
Dear Sid Chapman, thanks for your letter of the 2nd instant regarding the preferred shares. I think if we can buy these on the basis mentioned, that we should do so. They could well be purchased through the Royal Bank, so it would not be known that we had bought them. Anna Hagloff. Dear Anna, thanks for your letter. Say, I'd very much like to oblige you by advancing the money to your Muslim friends to start a business. Where is it anyway? In Jerusalem. You will appreciate that I receive these letters almost every day, and it is entirely impossible for me to accede to such requests. It would be a very doubtful investment. Yours truly.
When you get this sort of traditional look, it's rather boring.
Should that be there? That shouldn't be there.
And I was hoping that Vincent would be strong enough to start on one and turn under Hughes, and one would do Hughes as the big story inside.
Yes. We're rather short, aren't we? Good, strong home news stories this week, relatively. What's the foreign?
So we haven't had Vincent.
From Peking. The Peking stuff will, I hope, be lively and actual, and describe mobs in the street or something. Anyway, it'll have a Peking dateline, and that ought to go on the front.
I think I better call Isaac in the morning and see if he'll, just make it a quick meeting.
His 35,000 employees include some of the finest journalists in the world. Yet he describes news as the stuff you put between the ads, and a TV license as a license to print money. He is the subject of furious controversy. At any given moment, somebody somewhere is talking about Thompson. A member of Parliament, a Labour peer, and an eminent sociologist.
There's a curious succession of waves of Canadian bruisers who come over to the British press. Beaverbrook and that lot. And because we're so badly set up, and because we don't know what we're protecting anyway, they can go through it like that. And then a funny thing happens. The British fall over backwards and thank them very much for it. There's a funny kind of way in which we like the colonial to come and be tough and beat up our press for us. If an Englishman did it, they'd call him vulgar.
But look,
just a minute, let me finish this one. Let a man come in from abroad and do things that must take the hair off them in the Athenaeum. And they thank you very much, they say. You've taught us how to run our newspaper.
A journalist pub in Fleet Street.
And it reminds me of what the Society said about Beaverbrook when he first came in 1911. They called him the common little Canadian adventurer. And the proprietors of the day had very much the same view about Thompson then, He was a common little Canadian adventurer.
Honorary Colonel of the Toronto Scottish greets his regiment.
It's time for our annual pilgrimage to that little spot we have in our hearts, Lord Thompson's favorite joke at New Year's morning.
It's the one about the Scotsman that went to Paris for a weekend. And he checked in at this little hotel, and the clerk eyed him up and down, and he said, "Would you like a blonde up in your room?" So he said, all right. They had a good time over the weekend. On Monday morning, he said, "Now I'm checking out, give me my bill." And the clerk says, "Oh," he says, "there's no bill." So he reached under the counter, the clerk, and he pulled out a 10-pound note and he handed the Scotsman. And he was telling this to a friend. And so the next weekend, the friend's over there. He checks in, and the clerk eyes him up and down and says, "Would you like a blonde up in your room?" He says, "Oh, yes, yes." So he says, "Okay." So he sends a blonde up, and they have a good time over the weekend. He comes down Monday morning to check out, and he said, "Now," he said, "my bill." And the clerk says, "Oh, there's no bill." So the fellow says, "Oh, that's nice." He waited a minute, nothing else happened, and finally the clerk says, "Is there something else I can do for you?" And he said, "Well, my friend was here last weekend, and when he checked out, there was no bill, and you gave him 10 pounds. "Oh," says the clerk, "that's different." He says, "Last weekend, you see, your friend was live on television. This week," he says, "we just took some stills of you."
Put your head a little bit to your right and a tiny bit up. I just want to get the hands. Wait a minute.
Sir William Coldstream, one of the most distinguished artists in the kingdom, has been painting Thompson's portrait for 2 years. And he still won't let him see it.
You move your hand a little bit to the right and fraction down. That all right?
Yes, but I start to sag a bit. It fascinates me how paintings can develop. I mean, to me, of course, they're quite incomprehensible. As against a very good photograph.
Well, very good photographs. A very useful thing, isn't it? I mean, they are very like people, I don't know. But,
Is this the lifeline?
Yes.
Is that it?
Oh, very long one. This is your sense of determination, the angle that you make with your
Oh, it is?
thumb.
And how is that?
It's remarkable, actually. You would find that you cannot see through your fingers like I can.
Oh, no, that's true.
I am the person who cannot hold money. You are the one who can have millions.
Oh, I see. There's no leakage there, right?
No leakage at all.
And this is a lifeline?
Yes, definitely.
Right around there?
Oh, yes. Very few people who will live that long that you would.
See, that's
Look
good.
at that.
That's a
Ebenezer.
relief.
Your left hand, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Brexton.
Although Thompson is not noted for his charitable enterprises, he has established non-profit TV and journalism schools to help emerging nations.
And we've got Lord Thompson in.
Right, could you have Lord Thompson in now?
20 seconds.
Stand by, everybody. Stand by, Graham.
He will even sit as a guinea pig for the interview class.
If you did take up Canadian citizenship again, would you keep your title?
Oh, certainly.
What
I've
if-
got it, and I'm sure going to hang on to it. Don't make any mistake about that.
May I ask how much you pay Lord Snowden?
No. Well, you might ask, but I'm going to tell you.
Thompson enraged Fleet Street by hiring Lord Snowden. He denies it was a publicity stunt, but everybody turned up for Snowden's first day at work.
We'll be back here in time for dinner on Wednesday night. Yeah. And he would like Lord Snowden to be with us if he could come. Lord Snowden wants to take a picture of the president.
It'd be the simplest thing, I think, in the world for me to whistle them both up, and
Yeah.
they could join you at Lione, and Tony could take pictures, and it'd be a very good.
It would.
show. Yes.
Thompson prepares to interview the president of Czechoslovakia.
And in talking about Germany, they will say that they object to the German viewpoint that the Munich Agreement still exists.
The Munich Agreement doesn't have to be revived.
So I'd keep these tender questions until you've
In reserve.
softened him up, you know, or just keep them in reserve.
Yes, exactly. What do you know about Novotny? I'd be interested to
Well, I've
know.
heard that he's not a sort of gay, laughing type of man.
Serious.
He's rather dour.
No.
I suppose that he'll start off in a very formal way, and then you'll use your usual charm to thaw him out a bit.
Do you suppose you can pull his leg? Has he got any leg for pulling?
Well, I certainly could do it with Khrushchev.
Hradčany Castle in Prague. Thompson is granted a rare interview with the remote and inaccessible Czech leader Antonín Novotný.
How do you do, Mr. President? Thank you. I'm very pleased to meet you. Thank you.
It's very kind, sir, of you to receive us like this and give us an opportunity of learning your views on some of the world problems.
Je od vás velmi laskavé, pane, že jste nám
Dávám do souvislosti styku východ-západ.
Thompson was friendly with Nikita Khrushchev. He has interviewed Kosygin and Tito. He operates a travel business to Eastern Europe and is trying to start a Rotary Club in Moscow.
Territorial claims on Czechoslovakia. You must be aware of the fact that the British government thinks the Munich Treaty has no validity.
Aby předseda vlády
Critics call these interviews personal publicity stunts and say they are dangerously naive.
za neplatnou, protože ji Hitler roztrhal.
Others say that perhaps unwittingly, Thompson is helping to thaw out the Cold War.
Spolkové republice.
They have to annul the treaty.
We're confident that it will be in every respect.
Yeah, look at, then you'll be a 50% capitalist.
The offices of the Czech national newspaper.
Well, you see, I am fat enough to be a capitalist. Am I? Well,
Yes,
I mean, the person.
on tour.
Yeah.
We always think of the capitalist, a big fat chap, you know,
Yes.
and the communist, a
Always with the same.
little thin fella, you know.
The capitalist, I mean, a big belly, a big cigar.
Yes. Oh, well, it's a good thing we can laugh at each other.
That is real lambing.
I see.
And the actual robe is made of scarlet superfine cloth, trimmed with gold oak leaf lace.
Should fit. You've taken the measurement. Quite imposing. These two bars are for Baron.
Baron, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems all right. Seems to fit good enough.
Well, it's a bit on the long side.
I'm not going to buy another one.
No.
My son's got to wear this after me, you know, and he's about 4 inches taller than me, so it'll fit him all right as well. I see. Well, Mr. Bailey, I'd be delighted to have you come in and we can talk about it. Frankly, before you do so, I'd like to be perfectly blunt about my attitude towards magazines in Canada. Frankly, we're not too enthusiastic.
Thompson's only son and heir, Kenneth, who operates the North American empire.
Oh, I think we'd be even less interested in that. A national magazine couldn't interest us much less. Look, there are easier ways to make a living, really.
Thompson bought his first newspaper, the Timmins Press, in 1934. It's still making money for him in Northern Ontario.
What is it?
This is what I picked up when I was up over here. Can you go ahead and 1, 2, 3, and that'll be the first one? Just the one cut line right here.
Dick, let's see that one again, please.
You're not taught anything really, are you? You're copying. You don't have some gung-ho editor up there saying this is no good. I suggest you do it this way. This is how it should be done. They don't sit down with
some
you.
Of the Thompson papers you will.
Well, not in Cornwall.
Big papers like the Toronto Star are full of former Thompson men.
As a young kid, you have the opportunity to learn. Certainly, you're employed by a lot of meatheads in many cases, no question about that, but you do have the opportunity to learn, and where else would you have it?
You learn the whole idea of a newspaper there, and you do rub up against other young, hungry guys on their way up.
Who else in the world would want to publish a paper in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan? Only Roy Thompson can keep the damn thing alive. And it's the same with Orillia or any of those places.
What I want to do is get you in front of this here, actual sign, so we can see Timmins in the background. Can I ask you a favor not to wear your sunglasses till I take it? Just so people will recognize you as one of the strikers. Good, now I'll take one more. Sir, can you move your sign out, please? Timmins Daily Press calling again. Mr. Risley, I heard a rumor, which I do want to check with you. Are you planning any type of picketing at the town hall this afternoon? You know, then, of the council meeting that's being held at 5 o'clock? You do? Fine. Thank you very much. There's going to be a demonstration at Town Hall tonight. All mass picketing at Town Hall, and they want the residents to walk through the picket line.
That's not bankrupt. It's ridiculous.
In Northern Ontario, Thompson sat as an alderman and once ran for mayor. Issues haven't changed much. Does the new school need a pool?
But it's what we can afford. What was good enough for Johnny 30 years ago was fine. If Lester Pearson never swam in his life, or Alexander the Great, he conquered the world, he never took a bath in his life, why should my kid swim? Maybe the design has to be changed.
Cheryl Richardson is the senior reporter in Timmins. She's been with the paper 5 months. The pay is low, the turnover high. The empire was built on a tight budget.
Really unhappy, and just give him something. Give him $2.50 a week more. Just say, no, that's over the old budget.
I recall on one occasion, I think I was getting 10 cents an inch for everything published that I'd written, and Thompson was sufficiently budget-minded even that long ago that he made a 100-mile trip to see me and negotiated a reduction to 8 cents an inch and persuaded me it was in my best interest.
The son of a Toronto barber, he headed north in 1928. He wanted to sell radios, but there wasn't a station, so he started one. The North Bay merchants bought up airtime. These were Depression days, but the North had gold, and tourists were pouring in to see the Dion quintuplets. Thompson began to build a string of small-town enterprises. Soon he was saying that the sweetest music in the world was the sound of a spot commercial at $10 a whack.
It's true, it's true. So be with the in crowd this year by shopping at Adams Men's and Boys Wear, 181 Main Street West in downtown North Bay. We'll keep you looking your very best.
The outside world was not yet aware of Thompson. The mighty Beaverbrook described him as a little guy who owns a lot of little papers. Then in 1953, with one dramatic stroke, Thompson joined the giants. He bought one of the oldest and most dignified newspapers in the English-speaking world, the Scotsman of Edinburgh.
Rosemary Smith and the Hillman Imp, lying in 5th place.
Grant, do you need Aberconway picture? Aye. I want him for the front. I want him for the front. You manage without?
To the surprise of many, the quality of the paper didn't suffer. Thompson started Scottish television and began to expand in the UK.
On a facility trip to Northern Ireland a few years ago, to Belfast, Lord Thompson got a free ride over there. He disappeared for the morning, turned up for the free lunch, but he disappeared when the boring speeches started. He turned up again for the free ride back, and we all been given a little rug, 2 guinea, 3 guinea rug, as sort of mementos of the day. And there was Lord Thompson clutching his 2 guinea, 3 guinea rug, getting a free ride back. There was no car waiting for him at London Airport. He shared the bus with the rest of us. And I thought this was remarkable. When I said this to one of the other fellows with us on the trip, he said, "You don't know half the story." What do you think he was doing in the afternoon? Buying the Belfast Telegraph for £2.5 million.
1961. It is rumored that Thompson is about to take over Autumn's Press, which includes 2 national papers and many leading magazines. But this is the big time. He meets his match in Cecil Harmsworth King of the Daily Mirror.
I was looking at television one night, which I don't often do, and there was Roy Thompson and Christopher Chancellor on the wireless saying that they had formed an indissoluble marriage. And they smirked at each other, and somebody, I suppose the interviewer, said, "But aren't you afraid that somebody might make a counter bid?" And Roy said, "Nobody else has the money."
Mr. Thompson, is this deal completely signed, sealed, and collected? There have been rumors today that the Mirror might come in with another bid.
Well, I have no knowledge of any such a development. I don't think it happens. I noticed today the Mirror specifically denied that they were interested, and I would accept that. The deal is certainly signed, but there are details that still have to be worked out, small details.
Well, really, I mean, this was a bit much. So I lifted the telephone and rang my chaps up and said, "No, this can't be allowed to pass. I mean, this really is too much." So
it was a challenge.
Yes, so we waded in and demolished Thompson and his indissoluble marriage.
Oh, yes, we were rather sad about it, but I will be fair with Lord Thompson. Once the thing is over, he completely forgets about it. He puts it absolutely behind him. He does really, literally, yes. Whereas other men would grieve about it, he doesn't.
Well, it says here 2 separate programs in Arabic, French, and English.
Well, now, if we put the word commercial before programs, that's all we need.
Well, do you think we should have our lawyer, you should have our lawyer with you?
Thompson turns his attention to television interests in the Middle East.
Paragraph 8 and 10.
Well, of course, you'll have to make that clear, because that's very important. Well, we get a half of a half. Half of 25%.
Yeah, but we got the control over all of it.
Yeah, we have the voting, but I mean the profit-wise, we get 62.5%. See, before, it was cockeyed.
Thompson's staff includes such men as Sir Timothy Bly, private secretary to 2 British prime ministers.
Well, you've cut that away down. What about this business transfer 2 of their videotape machines? That's without consideration.
I don't want this put in.
No.
Because, in fact, they belong to Teleorion.
So you'll have to polish this up a little
more.
more.
We'll have to do a little bit of what the French call équivoque.
Yeah. Well, you can do that, all right.
Yeah, I can do that.
I've read it.
Excuse me, there's a call on from Paris to you, Sir Timothy. You said you wanted to be told.
Yes, I think I better take the call.
Yeah, you better take
the
call. No, I was just thinking when Tim's talking to you about the Lebanon, Roy, if you shouldn't now fix your visit to go down and see the Sheikh of Adubaib.
We'll see if they think I should go right away.
Jordan's just on the point of making a decision.
Just the one other thing, finally, a thing in Liberia, that you put in a herd of cattle.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me again, sir. Mr. Rizek is getting restless. He wonders if you want him. If not,
You're
he's
right
going
in the
to
middle
leave.
of this damn.
They asked me to come in twice, sir. That's why.
Never mind, just wait.
I remember the first thing he told me, I almost fell to the floor. I took him in the list of staff. It was the very first morning, actually. He'd been in about 5 minutes. And he said, "Wow," he said, "who are those? Secretaries." Well, he said, "Well, one person can do the job of 2, that's the way we operate." So that was it. I almost fell to the flaming floor.
Albert Mackey, a deposed Scottish editor.
Was the firing a shock to you? Was it handled pleasantly?
Well, it was handled pleasantly, but it was still a shock. I'm sure that so far as
Roy Thompson was concerned, as say, pulling your teeth is to many a dentist, it was an entirely painless extraction, but it wasn't painless to me. My wife had prepared for my lunch that day a haggis, which she still had in the pot, when I came home for lunch and came home to tell her, and the shock was so great to her that the haggis never came out of the pot. So I've always said that last Saturday was the day our haggis died.
Eskdale in the south of Scotland, ancestral home of the Thompsons. He donates an organ to the village church.
There's a tremendous range in it. You don't realize from its size, do you?
No, that's true. They can get a lot into a small size now. And it fits very well with the whole decor of the church. That's very helpful.
Thompson's ancestors included sheep stealers and border raiders. They robbed both Scots and English with equal enthusiasm.
Boys and girls, this is a memorable occasion. We have with us today a most distinguished visitor, Lord Thompson of Fleet. Would you like to know something of Canada? I'm sure he'd be quite willing to spare you a few minutes to tell them. Come away then.
Please, sir, could you tell me anything about maple sugar?
You know, they get maple syrup out of a maple tree. In the spring, the sap runs up a tree, you know, it does in all trees, and they drill a hole in these maple trees, and then they put a little spigot in there, and then they hang a bucket on it. And the sap comes up to the tree and runs out the bucket and out of the spigot and into the bucket.
Please, sir, are you very good at sums?
Yes. I think that's a tremendously important thing. If you're going into business, you should certainly be able to figure.
Now 6. How many beads are there, Fiona?
8.
Right, how
Good
do you
for
know?
you.
Because there's 2 left behind.
Now, Fiona, supposing I do that, how many have I got now?
7.
Why?
Because there's 3 left behind.
That's it. 5. Right.
No. You got 6.
How many have you here, Fiona? How many?
Try it again now. 5. That's the way.
Lord Lyon, King of Arms, controller of Scottish heraldry.
So you would now wish me to say what we came here to do in relation to the arms of Lord Thompson of Fleet.
Now, if you could just wait, before you begin your statement, sir, we just put a marker on it to get it synchronous.
Yes?
That's right.
Scene 42, roll 12.
And if you could just face the camera, sir.
Historians observe that the Scottish social system is scientifically a family one.
I think we'd better...
I think we'd better start again and tell them the truth to put that thing off, definitely.
Hello?
Put it off.
I'll speak to you next time.
Yes. To disconnect.
Okay, sir, if you'd like to start again.
Right? Historians observe that the Scottish social system is scientifically a family one. Roy Thompson's shepherd ancestors from Tweedale clearly belong to this family, whose representative, Thompson of their ilk, is now dormant, but Roy Thompson is very much awake. So Roy Thompson thus was assigned a beaver blowing a horn, gaily bedecked with a baldric of Thompson tartan around his shoulders, holding it up, which is the way that humans, if not beavers, put on their horns. From at the top of the achievement, the motto of Lord Thompson, never a backward step.
I suppose the beaver is a very unusual animal in heraldry.
We have beavers and bits of beavers in connection with the arms of celebrated Canadians. They appear as supporters. They appear doing all kinds of things in crests. Sometimes there is only half a beaver coming out of the wreath. But here we have the full horn.
The horn of publication, this is...
You now see the purpose and significance of the beaver.
Some people thought it was the horn of
and
plenty.
the horn.
Yes, some people thought it was the horn of plenty.
Well, I don't think I would have liked to make it look like a cornucopia when what it is dispensing is information and information, fact, and pleasant reading as well.
The king of communications is told he should meet the philosopher of communication, the controversial Marshall McLuhan.
Their executives on the whole subject of communication.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, of course, just from what I read about this, the dominant medium of communication in any age alters the way people think, feel, act, and react. Television is thus returning the viewers to the picture thinking of primitive men. Of course, I think this is all pie in the sky myself. He says the Bell Telephone Company don't know the business they're in. He says they've never asked themselves the question. Well, I have a pretty damn good idea what business. And I would think they have too.
Dr. McLuhan arrives.
But you say the Bell Telephone, for instance, they say the Bell Telephone Company has never asked itself what business it's in.
No. It is never asked what sort of an image do people have of their bodies and their friends as a result of the telephone. The new image...
But how would that affect your profit? Frankly, I'm very interested in profit.
Well,
I mean,
the body image. You see, for example, the body image is changing so rapidly right now that people are beginning to have their doubts about motor cars. The American for 30 years had an image of himself as part of a motor car. Now he's losing this image. And the motor car industry is on the skids.
Now, you see, really, to absorb what you're telling me, I need it written out. I'd have to read it.
Okay. This is the talk of a literate man. The literate man was all for absorbing things. The new sort of electric man doesn't want to absorb things.
You mean that in future people are not going to be as literate?
Oh, indeed, yes. Literacy is on the skids. Oh, yes.
Now I understand why you got the reputation.
Oh,
I can see that. You're a shocker, isn't he?
Look,
I'm quite fascinated with his view. He's way out, you know. I mean, talking about these things. At least unless if he isn't, then by God, I am. The only thing that impresses me is he went to Cambridge. I've got to think.
The thing about Thompson is everybody thinks he's such a nice sort of outspoken fellow who says he only wants to make money and he hasn't any opinions of his own, and everybody rather likes him. Now, in a way, I think he's much more dangerous in some important respects than Beaverbrook ever was.
Thompson is considered dangerous because he operates papers strictly for profit. It is profitable to cater to majority opinion. It is not his business to worry about minorities. He would turn a conservative paper into a socialist paper if it would sell more copies.
We know enough from social science research now, I mean, underline that, we really know enough from it to know that if you have one major organ of mass media for communication of opinions, and if that consistently puts the point of view that is a majority point of view, then the minority notions, the idea of a possible other point of view will die.
Most of his small papers are bland and suburban, causing no offense to the local establishment. Those in the American South have been accused of segregationist sympathies.
You wouldn't like Roy Thompson, want to own 100 newspapers in all parts of the country so that he can pull out a drawer and look at all their balance sheets and tell you, as he's told me, that some little paper in Canada is spending more on metal or on paper or ink than some paper in north of Scotland is. How manifestly newspapers have to pay their way. But this shouldn't be the be-all and end-all of their existence. When The Guardian began to lose a lot of readers over Suez, Scott walked into Hetherington and said, look, we're losing readers, but don't you take any notice of that. I'll look after that so far as I can. You go on saying what you believe. But I just don't think that in those circumstances, Thompson would have that sort of approach if it went on long. If it was just a very temporary thing, he'd say, all right, but if it began to lose readers on an issue of principle, he would say, well, I'm sorry, old boy, but really we want somebody who understands this public better than you do.
Earl McLaughlin, dear Earl, see, I don't think you have enough pictures of weddings and of children, babies particularly. This is something that particularly appeals to women, and we must appeal primarily to them. Incidentally, I don't think you have enough marriages and deaths. I'm sure many more of these take place than are covered by the Post.
If you had the chance to be like Roy Thompson...
I'd like to be like him in the sense of owning the same number of papers. But then I would then bash away at all the various things in which I believe, however tiresome you might find them. Thompson doesn't really have any opinions politically to peddle at all, except, I think, a kind of robust sort of Khrushchev view of capitalism, that it is still some kind of a jungle, and it ought to be left as a jungle, so that chaps like him can get on all right in it.
Hello, Roy. How are you?
How's Jack?
Oh, real good.
Good to see you.
Oh, give me your hat.
Yeah.
Gee,
Here's your
whiz.
hat. What's your...
Yeah. Listen, geez, we never stop those corny jokes, Roy.
Thompson's oldest and closest friend is Jack Kent Cook. Cook was Thompson's protege in the North. Known as a shrewd operator and hustling super salesman, he has gone on to become a multimillionaire in Los Angeles.
Oh, gee. What times we've had together.
Some years ago, they parted bitterly when Cook cut Thompson out of a radio deal in Ottawa. There has been a recent reconciliation.
There'd be the end of Lord Thompson of Fleet right here now. Remember the time we went to New York? Is Jim Bartleman still alive?
Yeah.
Remember
He's
when
getting pretty old.
he bought one thing? A bathroom plunger. Remember, he said he couldn't buy them in Timmins. Said he couldn't buy them in Timmins, Ontario. Oh, my goodness.
And those dirty magazines, do you remember we put them in his bag and the customs man opened them and he says, you can't bring that stuff into Canada.
Remember up in Sudbury, Bill Mason, the most cantankerous man I guess that ever lived in or out of the newspaper business, said to the staff, line up. He marched down the line and he stopped suddenly. He says, everybody from here on fired. You remember that, Roy?
I do. They were good old days. We didn't have any money and we had to work without money, but that all helped it along, didn't it?
It just honed our senses. It was a good exercise for the future, wasn't it?
Good to see you again.
Wonderful to see you.
Now, is there anything else we can do for you?
Then tomorrow night he's got a dinner at Black Tie, so he'll be staying in town overnight. No, he's got the black tie, hasn't he? He probably wants a spare shirt. Mm-hmm.
The Dorchester Hotel, London, where one of the biggest birthday parties of the year is being held, for the 85th birthday of Lord Beaverbrook, the host of the evening, Lord Thompson of Fleet. And since this is a party in honor of one of the greatest Canadians of the 20th century, 4 Indian chiefs are in attendance. They were specially brought from Canada for the occasion, and when Lord Beaverbrook arrives, they will form one half of the Guard of Honor. The other half will, naturally, be Mounties, 4 troopers of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. No one can mistake the significance of the symbol in the foyer, least of all the guest of honor. Lord Beaverbrook arrives at the Dorchester with his wife, but for the time being she leaves him. This is strictly a stag.
He was a very sick man at this time. How soon after this was it that he died?
About 3 weeks. Oh yes, he was really dying. He was doomed. He knew that too.
A word of advice to our friend Lord Thompson of Fleet. It is this, that he should be guided by my wisdom and gain benefit by my experience. He should begin a new career at once, become an apprentice as quickly as possible, give up those newspapers of his, and take to politics or philanthropy or something or other, so long as he ceases to trouble our little group of newspaper proprietors.
Let me just say one thing about Beaverbrook, and this is a bad thing to say about it, but it's something what I truly believe. I think Beaverbrook was, in balance, a force not for good in our society. You might even say a force for evil. I feel very strongly about this. I think in balance, Thompson is proving to be and continues to be, in balance, in net, a force for good in our society.
Is the success of these two Canadians a coincidence?
A calamity, sir.
In what way a calamity?
I think Beaverbrook was an evil man who had a pernicious influence on the press and the politics of this country. I think this would have been, this country would have been better off if he'd stayed where he came from.
Another thing that I dislike about Beaverbrook is the way he treated many men in his life, how he destroyed men. He destroyed them not on ordinary commercial grounds, but as on a matter of whim. Now with Thompson, I would imagine, it's a strictly dollars and cents deal. You produce, you get paid.
I don't understand what the hell. Here, you know what he does? This fella holds the meeting in Montreal and sends, what's his name, to go and attend the meeting. Says everything went off satisfactorily. How the hell does he know whether it's satisfactory or not? He says now that he refuses to transfer the shares from TTI. He thinks it's easy. See, you fellas here, you don't know a goddamn thing about it. And the thing is he just handles things as he bloody well likes. He doesn't know what's right and what's wrong.
Back and wait until his committee.
Thompson operates through a network of committees. He sits on none of them.
So it's just a question.
This is international television.
Sarawak. We have peace in Sarawak now.
Indeed, that's why I felt there was a little bit more interest on our part.
But if all the troops are going out, who's going to be able to afford to buy a television receiver? Saudi Arabia is not very much I want to report to the board at this stage. I had good meetings in Saudi with the minister, with the Crown Prince, with Prince Sultan. Sheikh Ghazawi arrives here tomorrow. I flew up with him yesterday from Jeddah to Beirut.
Thompson hires teams of high-powered, tough-minded executives to keep his money turning over. Some of his executives are minor shareholders, but Thompson and his family own 70% of everything. He sits on none of the committees, it's true, but he knows of every decision and must approve all major deals. The Magazine and Book Committee.
So the proposal is the acquisition of Consul Books, which could mean ultimately a major investment by Thompson's in the paperback field, both because it will be profitable in its own right and in order to safeguard our existing investments, and secondly, to tell you of the appointment of Fisher and to ask any comments or questions.
What actual advantage is there in taking over this imprint as compared with creating a new imprint of our own?
It's a repository of quite a lot of rights to titles. They may not necessarily be the titles that one would have chosen, but there are some perfectly good titles that can be repackaged and successfully sold.
In other words, a bread and butter operation while the thing gets going.
Exactly. The general thinking is that Consul should be absorbed by an overall imprint, and we should just use Consul as fodder to get us through these 2 to 3 years.
The next item is Illustrated Carpenter and Builder, proposed acquisition, which you have a very short paper.
They did not approach us, we went to them, and it took some time to get them even to this stage. Originally, they were talking about a purchase price based on 8 times the current profitability, which we rejected, and we've now talked them down to a figure of between 5 and 6. I think it's more likely to be 5.5 or 6 times.
They've also said point blank that they wouldn't be interested in less than £100,000.
If the marketing division had produced a marketing appraisal of it, that would be helpful too.
They, to the best of my knowledge, have not produced an appraisal of it. They have considered it and discussed it with us.
Well, let them get on and produce their own opinion of the acquisition. You say they're in favor. Let's have the reasons why they're in favor. Right, thank you. If we want a drink after this.
Yes, I don't.
I hope you weren't counting on a lot of selection.
No, I'm not too keen, particular about that, as long as they're all right.
Normally $6.95. We're on sale at the present time at a third off.
Oh, well, that appeals to me.
You have a nylon zipper,
Yeah.
buttoning on the front so
Sure.
that you're not struggling to get them up and down.
That's good. That's fine. All right. How
That
much
should
is
do
it
the trick.
again?
$5.95, and today on sale at
$3.97 or $8, eh? $3.98.
you're ahead of me.
Thompson's wife died in 1951, and he lives alone. But in a deeper sense, he has always been alone. As a boy, he was half blind and ungainly. As a man, he has locked himself up in work. If, as some say, he is incomplete and one-dimensional, he is certainly not in the least unhappy. He enjoys the company of successful men, but even in a crowd, he is essentially alone.
Mr. David Montague.
Oh, yes. Hello, David.
Nice
How
to
are
see
you?
you, Ron.
Good,
Nice
good
to
to
see
see
you.
you.
Very nice to see
David, you know Sheikh Najib? David Montague.
Bev Smallpiece, Chairman of Cunard. Lord Pageant, Mr. Mully.
But I come from Billy Graham's. Listening to Billy Graham was what's called a working breakfast this morning, and the members of the House of Commons had been there all night and had been dividing, and then went to hear Billy Graham. Which yes. I just noted through. I know they went straight to Billy Graham, and I see them.
Hey, Phil, it's Jack O'Hagan, is it? Joe. It's Joe.
Richard Wade.
Thompson holds frequent office luncheons. Today, he welcomes a new member of the House of Lords.
Congratulations, Bill, on your recent appointment. I'm sure you'll like it there. You know, it may not be democracy, but it's damn nice. You don't have to worry about getting re-elected at all, you see? I enjoy it very much. I'd like you each to accept my compliments. One of these books, one of our recent publications, The Art of Margot Fontaine. So it's out there, and this is next week's Sunday Times magazine, if you care to take it. Give you a little preview. I don't know. I was at 39. Yeah, but don't you think it has something to do with sex?
Thompson entertains the females of Fleet Street. He neither smokes nor drinks, but has always liked eating and the company of women.
By the way, do you notice that we're emulating Playboy this week? And I want you to know that I knew nothing about it till I got the copy in my desk, so any criticism should not be directed at me. Do you think I could get the original of this?
It'll be up in every bathroom.
I see. Worse than every paper. Oh, God, turn that over quick.
Hanging hair, the belly button. I'm
Well,
so tired of it all. I want something
Well, ladies, it's been a
different.
pleasure to have you. If you can-
Really?
This is the Art of Margot Fontaine.
Your great problem with all these meals and things that you have every day, so you should be around 190 and you're hitting 208.
That's far too much.
What are you going to do about it?
I'm going to stop eating.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Seems to me I've heard that before.
Yeah, you'll probably hear it again, too.
Right, I haven't got the detail yet. As soon as I get it, I'll give you a tinkle. Thank you. Bye. Hello. You want the table plan for tomorrow? Have we got the staff for the hats and coats?
Yes, all right.
And the Prime Minister's private detective, he normally has lunch here. Is that all fixed up?
That's all arranged.
That's fine. Thank you.
Right, thank you.
So we're putting in that end, so there's room at the other end, actually.
Well, what I thought was you could put one at each end.
Yes,
You know,
well,
you could put four altogether. Two at each end of one side and two at each end.
Well, there's room for one at one end at the moment because we've got Trevor Lloyd Hughes at the end down here, so near the door.
That's right. Well, now then
So
we can
Nicholas
have two
Carroll-
more on the other side.
Two more, sir?
Well, one on each end.
Well, that was I mean, sir. We've got Nicholas Carroll. Trevor Lloyd Hughes coming. He is on one end.
Yeah, but look, there's two sides to the table.
Yes. Well, how many do you want, sir?
Four altogether that we haven't got on. There's one is the secretary that's coming, and there could be three more. Look at, see what I
yes,
mean?
I know, sir, but who are you going to ask, really?
Well, that's what we
the
want
plan
to
is
find out.
ready, sir. The thing's been done. The menu
No, we
card's
don't
been
need. We don't need any names on it. Look, we can put somebody there, and
They haven't
somebody
got
there.
room here, so they asked me particularly this morning not to put anybody else on the ends because that's why we had to shift this chappie from there to there. I put him here, sir. The thing has been printed now upstairs in the studio.
No, the printing don't matter. We don't need to care about those four. They would be superfluous to the rest.
But that's
however,
32, sir. We've never had 32 at a luncheon.
No, we find that if they're at the end, it gives these two people somebody to speak to.
Behold, you are picking
Prime Minister, sir.
Hello.
Roy, I'm very sorry about that. You got my message.
Perfectly all right,
We had
yes.
one or two little things cleared up this morning.
Do you know this gentleman? Now look, you know these ambassadors perhaps better than I do. His Royal Highness the Thai ambassador.
How are you? How are you? Is he television?
They're making a film of my life. To meet those sheikhs down there must be very all right.
My lord, gentlemen, luncheon is served.
I just want to say that we're greatly honored today to have the Prime Minister as our guest of honor. I'm sure we all very much appreciate that. Now we have, of course, I won't attempt to pronounce the names because some of these names I find it extremely difficult to pronounce. But we have, of course, the cream of the ambassadors in this country. There are only several missing, and they, I believe, are attending some Western European meeting in Germany today.
Brussels.
In Brussels, that's right. And they all were sorry that was the case. There were several in that case. Now, I might say that you don't often get an opportunity to have the Prime Minister where you can ask him a question and see his response. Sometimes, you know, what he doesn't say is more informative of what he does say. So you're quite at liberty to say it. I'm very generous with your time. But I might say, too, that everything's within these four walls. There's nothing going outside here at all. I mean, nothing is reported, so you're quite safe. Nothing will go back to Moscow, Mr. Smirnovsky, so you're perfectly safe. And the same happens to Washington, too, doesn't it?
May I thank you for inviting me here, and again apologizing for arriving late, but it is a pleasure to meet you again and your colleagues here, and also to be sitting at what must be the largest gathering of the diplomatic corps outside the De La Rue dinner.
I was in Prague last week. There are two superpower nations really in the world today, America and Russia. Does he feel that a meeting of those other nations, other than those two super nations, could have any beneficial effect?
Roy, you mustn't bring your Canadian inferiority complex to this country.
Now we have here one of our new publications, a book here, which I'd like you to accept, each of you to accept on your way out with my compliments. It's Margot Fontaine, quite non-political. Next week, Sunday Times magazines. You're all going to get a preview, you see, of the magazines for next week. Well, I think that's all, gentlemen. Thank you again. Thank you very much for coming.
What's going to happen when there is no Roy Thompson? What's going to happen to the Empire? Does it all fall to pieces or what? Now, his grandson, I was amazed to discover when I was doing this research in the tax story, had his name down for Eton. Presumably it was being made into a nice English gentleman.
David Thompson, only grandson, and an heir to more than $300 million.
Have any idea about a career at all?
I might want to run the newspaper business.
Yeah. Are you interested in newspapers?
Oh, yes, a little.
And of course, I'd like to see him go to Eton. Yeah, I know you would.
See, it's only about 7 miles from Alderman Arches, and he could come home.
On the weekend.
Yes, and I don't know even whether they let you out at nights or not. I mean,
There may be a lot of schools in Britain that would be as fine, or I don't know, perhaps even finer than Upper Canada, but there would be very few, if any, that he would enjoy more than he. It's a wonderful school, isn't it?
Yes.
You like it there, David, eh?
Yes, I don't want to go to England.
You don't want to go. Oh, well, I'm afraid you won't have much choice.
The only remaining question, will the Thompson dynasty endure?
I wouldn't care, with the lineup of lieutenants that Thompson has, to have to succeed to his throne.
Anyway, Thompson said if he can't take it with him, he's not going to go.